Sanjay Kumar on the first question which was put out on whether the incumbent government should get another chance. Almost 6 in 10 respondents in your survey seem to be suggesting that they want change. When you look at this level of anti-incumbency and compare it with other state governments where you've done similar polls, what's your assessment of the level of anti-incumbency against the Bommai government of Karnataka?
Rahul, I think the data is self-explanatory. If you look at the proportion of voters who want this government to be re-elected and proportion of voters who want to be this government not to be re-elected, it's a very high number. And if I compare it with similar question asked in other states, I think this is a very high number. More than 55% people saying they don't want this government to be re-elected, and only little less than 1/3 of people wanting this government to be re-elected. A very high, or I get a sense of strong anti-incumbency against the ruling BJP.
Remember, compare that 31% with the 36% actual vote share the BJP had, which means at least 5% of those who did vote for the BJP in the last election now want the government to change. And the Congress had a vote share of only 38%. Almost 20% more people think they want this government to go and to bring another government in. Given what you've just said, I want to go across to Sandeep Shastri on the second question, which is about which party is best placed to develop the state further. The Congress here has a 10% lead over the BJP, which seems to suggest from your survey that people think at this moment the Congress is better placed to govern Karnataka than the BJP. To what extent are these numbers set in motion? To what extent might they change before the 10th, given that the Prime Minister, Amit Shah, JP Nadda and everybody else from the BJP is performing a last leg bombardment in Karnataka? Are these numbers now more or less set? Could they change? Sandeep Shastri.
Rahul, as Sanjay ji said, there is a clear mood that comes out in the survey. But let's also mention that this survey was done in the last week of April, when the campaign was still on. So, Lokniti-CSDS has maintained that the mood that we have projected is a mood in the end of April. And because the campaign has still several days left, there is always a scope for some change to happen this way or that.
Will that be marginal change according to you, or could that be major change?
Respondents.
Sandeep Shastri, marginal change or major change? What's possible?
Now, in a close race, even a marginal change can make a difference, Rahul. In a close race, even a marginal change can make a difference. And the question which you raised about the Congress being seen as preferred for development must be linked to the earlier question as to whether you would like to give the government another chance. So, in the minds of the people, if there is a feeling of only 1/3 saying that they would like to give the government another chance, this also this in a sense reflects the way people think. And when you ask a question on who is better suited for development, they are responding to what they think is the situation in the state and how they would like to see the state,
okay.
And what they think about the voting that will happen in the state.
I want to come to the next question, which is about who is the preferred candidate for chief ministership. And here, as was the case in the C voter data, Siddaramiah, the former Congress chief minister, comes out way on top. I think in that poll it was 44, here it is 40, but directionally the same. DK Shivakumar, who's the other Congress contender, comes in at only 4. So a gap of 10-fold between Shivakumar and Siddaramiah. Bommai is at 22, Kumaraswamy at 15, Yediyurappa, who's no longer in the fray, and therefore it's unfair to think that that is his actual level of popularity, comes in at only 5. Professor Rajiv Gowda, it's a good problem to have, but you have two candidates who both publicly say they're in the fray. Poll after poll seems to suggest that Siddaramiah is your real mass leader. DK Shivakumar is resourceful, he's a good organizational man, he's useful to have, but he can't hold a candlelight in terms of the public popularity of Mr. Siddaramiah.
Rahul, the results that you're seeing are based on people's opinions, and their opinions are based on Mr. Siddaramiah's wonderful track record as Chief Minister already. He's someone that they know who has delivered, and the decision on Chief Ministership will be taken by the party MLAs after the election. Mr. Siddaramiah, we're very happy to see these sorts of numbers. We're happy to see that between Siddaramiah and Shivakumar taken together, and possibly some other extra numbers, nearly half the population is in favor of a Congress candidate for Chief Minister. So let us deal with the decision at that point. Basically, I think this is a vote of affirmation on the part of the public that, Mr. Siddaramiah delivered a wonderful development regime-focused, inclusive regime when he was leading the Congress, and I think that's what these numbers reflect. They also reflect support for the Congress.